You have been witness to the unspeakable horrors of the defendant's heinous crimes.
Okay, let's be honest. We're not binging these stories to study human nature, and we certainly aren't watching to honor the victims. That's just the lie we tell ourselves to justify the appetite. You see, we've commoditized and fetishized the most depraved moments in human history, polishing the rot into 4K escapism. And worse, we've taken the most vile, broken men in history and granted them one of humanity's highest honors: immortality.
We've got a very disturbed, sick individual.
See, true crime isn't just a streaming genre, it's a digital seance where we pay $20 a month to summon monsters into our living rooms, just so we can feel a little more alive. For me, the mystery isn't what happened in those basements. The mystery is why we're so eager to follow them down the stairs. Over the past 2 years, my wife and I traveled the world looking for a place to put down roots. And we landed on the Portuguese coast. It was a strategic choice, a balance of the surf, the culture, and a deliberate baseline of safety that felt like the right environment to start our family. On paper, I've successfully engineered a life of wholesome normalcy. It is, by every metric, a sanctuary. But last night, I sat in the dark and finished the latest season of Monster, the Ed Gein story. I intentionally traded the peace of my living room for 8 hours in a 1957 Wisconsin cellar with a man who didn't just kill, he harvested. A psychotic necrophile who turned human skin into masks and carved his neighbors into household furniture. Why? Why is a brain that's currently enjoying the peak of human safety so gleefully willing to follow Ed Gein into his workshop of horrors? Well, it's a biological glitch called the evolutionary mismatch. You see, for 99% of human history, our ancestors survived because they were hypervigilant. Their brains were finely tuned instruments designed to scan the tall grass for the movement of a lion. But now, in our miraculously peaceful world, that ancient hardware has become restless. It starts looking for a problem to solve just to keep itself sharp. Evolution doesn't care if you're happy. It only cares that you're alive. So it wired us with this hair trigger alarm system, because it's safer to have an alarm that goes off when you're just burning toast than an alarm that stays silent during a real fire. So in the tranquility of my life here in Portugal, my internal smoke detector has gone quiet. But instead of being relieved, my prehistoric wiring gets suspicious. It treats the silence like a mechanical failure, and so it drifts towards the darkness to recalibrate. This is the real Ed Gein. In 1957, he wasn't a cinematic enigma. He was a stuttering, middle-aged man living alone in a farmhouse caked in literal human filth and haunted by his dead mother. He was a tragedy of untreated psychosis and social failure, So if you saw him walking around, you wouldn't be morbidly fascinated. You'd cross to the other side of the street.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hunnam, and I play Ed Gein.
Oh, darling, won't you smile?
He's conventionally attractive,
Hello.
charismatic, and built like a Greek statue. They cast a hunk, not just because it's a Ryan Murphy production, but because the industry can't easily sell pathetic and sad. To keep us locked in for 8 hours, they have to aestheticize the rot. They take a sexually deranged grave robber and apply the prestige filter. In reality, that 1957 Wisconsin farmhouse was suffocatingly quiet. A static, mundane sadness. But the industry swaps that lonely reality for a sensationalized and cinematic thrill ride. The narrative frames him as this dark enigma whose bloodlust and deviance couldn't be contained. But history tells a different story. He wasn't some complex and calculated predator. He was a deeply troubled and unremarkable man. What they're really selling us is supernormal stimulus. Not fear, but an exaggerated version of it.
Dead number 2.
These shows don't just trigger our danger response, they overwhelm it. They hit our internal smoke detector harder than reality ever could, flooding the systems with signals that feel urgent and meaningful, the kind of arousal we mistake for thrill. And our prehistoric brains, built for the rare threat, can't tell the difference.
Here comes.
What? Oh, the blood is all wrong. Why do they do that? It's too red.
On the surface, we treat these stories like a comforting fiction. We watch them to reassure ourselves that the monster is an accident, a rare malfunction safely contained to someone else's DNA. But the pull isn't spectacle, it's recognition. The patterns seem to line up, and the rhythms make sense to us. Because instinctively, something feels so familiar. You see, it's never been the lion in the grass that unsettles us most. It's always been the one standing upright.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
We return to these stories not to feel safe, but to remind ourselves what our species is capable of. We aren't checking the locks on our doors. We're checking the locks on ourselves. The irony of modern life is that we've built a world where the lion rarely shows up anymore. But the brain doesn't know how to live with that kind of quiet. So it searches. And we follow the monster back into the darkness. Not because we want to be hunted, but because a part of us still remembers what it feels like to hunt. Hey guys, it's been a while. Since my last upload, I've traveled across the world, I've gotten married, I've moved us to Portugal, and literally any minute now, I could become a dad for the first time. It's been a long road in this channel to get monetization back, but now I'm just thrilled to be creating for it again, and I want to infuse a little bit more of my life into these video essays. If you're at all interested in the sort of digital nomad lifestyle that I've been living, give us a follow over at Wanderlost. And if you're a digital creator like me and you're interested in utilizing the best tools for us, check out Artlist. I've had subscriptions to all of these services